Good evening. I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about something that it's to help you prevent. The topic is how to prevent the 3 biggest mistakes if you're downsizing in your 60s. So there are 3 main reasons baby boomers home that's more manageable and also maybe more affordable. And they're either retired or approaching retirement, and they are concerned that they will no longer be able to afford the expenses of and upkeep of their larger home. And the second reason that baby boomers choose to downsize is mobility and health concerns. So while they might still be experiencing good health, they still are anticipating the possibility of declining health in the future and mobility issues that would prevent them from maneuvering stairs or caring for their larger home. And then the third reason that baby boomers choose to downsize is lifestyle. So at this stage of life, they want to enjoy for as long as they can, and a smaller home with less stuff gives them more time, money, and freedom to they're interested in doing at this stage of the game. To downsize, suddenly they're facing even more decisions. There's a plethora of other things that they have to think about. One is when to downsize, and the second is where will they live, what kind of lifestyle do they want, and what do they do with all of their stuff. So these are questions that I deal with all of the time and them on a regular basis. So no wonder that they get overwhelmed and anxious when they even think about the idea of downsizing. And no wonder many baby boomers make these big mistakes. Mistakes that baby boomers make when they're downsizing. The number one mistake is playing the waiting game. So we've all waited, we've all procrastinated. And in this particular case, playing the waiting game means wait till maybe you get the best possible price for your home. Well, you know what's happening to the housing market right now, so waiting there is definitely a waiting game. Wait to do research to do the due diligence for what affordable options might be and what kind of lifestyle that they would want. And then the other way that they play the waiting game is wait until something happens. So this happens all of the time. You probably have people that in your life that you've heard someone has fallen, someone had a heart attack, they had an accident, and then suddenly all the changes that they have to make in their life are done, with much more haste, and then you don't have as many choices. So how do you prevent that? And that's certainly just don't wait until it's too late. With the housing market being so unpredictable right now, with fewer and fewer affordable housing options available, and without having a vision and a plan on what kind of home and lifestyle you want, and where you want, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. So plan ahead and start doing the due diligence and have fun with it. So don't wait, don't procrastinate until that move becomes a necessity, and start planning your decluttering and downsizing journey today. The second biggest mistakes that baby boomers make when we're downsizing is rushing the process. So waiting until the last minute definitely has consequences. So being forced to make those important decisions and those life-changing decisions under pressure, where you live, what kind of lifestyle you want, that's a big problem. And then rushing to declutter and prepare your property and your house for sale, it just causes undue pressure. And the mistakes are more likely to be made. For instance, throwing out things that you wish you hadn't thrown out because you're just trying to get it all done. And had you been more mindful, you might have given your loved ones or given yourself more time and, more attention to what you did keep and what you didn't keep. And then the third thing about rushing the process is panic sets in, and resulting in sometimes no decisions at all. So you just pack it all up and you take it with you, which is even a bigger problem once you arrive at a smaller house. So how do you prevent that rushing process? By decluttering and downsizing sooner. It does take time. Usually we allow at least 6 months, and that's stretched out over those months so that you can take more time with it. You can discern what you want, what you don't want, what you need and what you don't need. And to start before you have to. So take things to, it takes time to research where you might want to live and what kind of lifestyle you might want to live. So sometimes those weekend getaways can start to discern where you want to live. And then another way to prevent the rushing is to take time to declutter, dispose, and donate the things that you really want and don't want. And then make sure to involve your kids and your loved ones in that process, because this will prevent you from giving things away that they may have wanted or needed. And then to declutter one room at a time, enjoy the process, because decluttering, and many of you have found and you've expressed to me that it's actually pretty cathartic to be getting rid of stuff. And then the third biggest mistake baby boomers make when they're downsizing is not downsizing enough. I call it double downsizing. And this is a very costly mistake, not just in dollars, but also in your time and energy. So if you think about it this way, you downsize and you were living in a larger home. It might be difficult for you to imagine yourself living in a much smaller home. So you downsize to a little smaller home, but it's not small enough. So that in a few more years, you might find yourself having to downsize again. Now, some people like to move, other people definitely don't. And so if you are thinking about downsizing, seriously consider where you might be in 5 to 7, maybe 10 years from now in terms of your health and being able to manage a larger property. So unfortunately, this has happened many times, and it becomes pretty expensive to keep doing that. So this also happens when you're attached to your stuff. You can't let go of it, so you just bring it with you anyway. And I'm talking about all of it. So I've had several clients and friends say that they took way too much, and now here all that stuff is now in your smaller house. And you have to downsize again, or at least declutter again and get rid of it then. So if it goes to the new house that's much smaller, your house is overloaded with too much, and then you have to declutter that. So how do you prevent double downsizing? If you do your due diligence, and if you take the time to decide what kind of house that you will want in the next 5 to 10 years, and if you create that vision for that simpler lifestyle that you really want. So having a plan, having a vision, having a pretty good idea about what's going to work for you for the next 5 to 10 years, then you select a home that suits your lifestyle now, based on your wants, needs, and your future needs. Then you can avoid that costly mistake. So baby boomers, if you're thinking about downsizing, please read this blog and listen to this video. It will be worth your time. And I do hope that this has helped you. You know, you're always welcome to reach out to me at Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com. Every week I hear so many wonderful things from you, and so many of you have given me great ideas for what to talk about in our next blogs and next videos. Also, just check me out on my YouTube channel, because we're putting up a lot of really useful information in the YouTubes, and it's the Rita Wilkins YouTube channel. All right, hope this helps, and I will talk to you again next week.